the end of biomedical research on chimps. Article in November Science Times writes that the National Institute of Health in America has announced that there are no more funds available for animal research regarding chimps, closing it down, and they are retiring all chimps that are presently being used for medical research, building multi-million-dollar facilities for them to be able to retire. They can't go right into the wild because they're certainly not prepared for that. Multi-level stages and places, acres and acres wide, so they could go ahead and retire there peacefully. And why? Why are they retiring all chimps from biomedical research? If you're concerned about Tza'ar B'Alei abusing the animals, to just stop all research on all animals. No, it's specifically the chimps. And I'll read the Science Times from November 8th, 2017. It says the following: that the National Institute of Health announced that the NIH would fund no new biomedical research using chimps, which he described as our closest relatives in the animal kingdom, deserving of special consideration and respect. That's the quote from the NIH, National Institute of Health. And his comments were stunning because that's it, it's ending all the funding, but it was obvious as well. Jane Goodall, the famed primatologist, and others already had shown the world the richness of chimp intelligence and social life. Molecular biology had revealed that humans and chimps share 90% of the DNA. And the article goes on. Are we going to save some chimps for some research, at least emergency use? No. By 2015, NIH had gone through several stages of decision making and concluded it would retire all chimps it owned, retaining none for potential emergency use in case of human epidemic, for instance. It owns 250 chimps outside of those now in sanctuaries and supports another 80, which will also be retired. So at first glance, a person reads the article, wow, it's amazing, it's beautiful, the sensitivity to Hashem's animal kingdom. We certainly hold by that. A mitzvah, according to many, d'oraita from the Torah, Tza'ar B'Alei Chayim, not put animals in pain. It's very good, it's very sensitive. Not exactly. Because, and all research is that's your position. Fruit flies, the most famous of animals that over the centuries used for research, and rats and mice in the maze and all that, end it all. Tza'ar B'Alei Chayim. That's not what the article is saying. It's not coming from Tza'ar B'Alei Chayim. It's coming from the fact that, yes, we can do research on the animal kingdom, but we cannot do research on our brothers. And basically, 97% of the DNA, you're going to start doing research on a human? Of course not. Not any normal civilized society. We know the Nazis have done, other Rishon have done over the centuries. But the normal civilized society, research on a human, of course not. Well, the chimps are 97% DNA, similar to us. Can't do research on them. So it's not a Tza'ar B'Alei Chayim, a question of abusing and mistreating an animal. It's not the perspective here, it's something else. And it's important to understand. The science world, much of the science world subscribes to evolution. 15 billion years of a developing, evolving world. And we discussed in the past, what does Yadu say about such a theory? And you're going to have a range of opinions within the rabbinical views. From those who say 6 days of creation, that's it. Man were created on the sixth day. And any indications in the fossils and the dinosaur skulls and all that, whatever it is, you're working with the premise of 6 days. And you're going to have another other extreme where no, they 57, 78, the 5,778 years from creation is from man, developed sophisticated man. And what happened before that? Who knows? There are a lot of different opinions there. And maybe there are worlds that were created and destroyed, like the Tiferet Yisrael says. A lot of opinions. But with all the opinions and disagreement among the Orthodox rabbis, one thing is clear, that man is not simply a quantitatively more advanced creature. We're not just a billion years ahead of the chimps. No, it's not true. We are qualitatively different. We were endowed with a neshama somewhere along the way, whether it's the sixth literal day of creation, whether it's the creation of man when man was more advanced. At some point, man was endowed with a soul, a neshama. He is qualitatively different than the animal kingdom. He's the pinnacle of the animal kingdom, but down in a different way. And the Torah tells us that we have a Tzelem Elokim. And the Torah also tells us that we have the mitzvah of kifshuha. We dominate the earth. At the same time, the Torah tells us, v'tsar balei chayim. You have to go ahead and use the animal kingdom in a responsible way. The word responsible can mean anything, correct. We need to go through the Gemaras and the Shulchan Aruch and all different sources to define what is responsible. Our Malamed has a lot of new works on this topic recently, on Sar Balei Chayim, and you have to go through all the different opinions in Shitot. But our premises are that we are unique beings, Tzelem Elokim. V'chivshua, we do have the reshut and the mitzvah to dominate this earth. And C, we need to do it in a responsible way, which is defined by Abale Mesorah. And therefore, it's very important that we see articles like this, and there's a whole new trend, which could be a disaster for mankind, not to gain knowledge from the chimps in terms of disease and other issues which could really benefit man. It's not a simple, noble idea of Tzav Lechaim. It's a very dangerous idea. We need to be guided by our Masorah, keep those three basic principles that we mentioned, that we're unique with the Tzelem Elokim. We have the mitzvah to dominate the earth, but see, it has to be in a responsible way, and that is what should guide us in our interaction with Hashem's incredible creation. Shalom.